Cinema Based Podcast. I am Vengeance, and this is my co-host, Justice. Coming to you from a rainy night in Gotham.
I did not know this was happening. For those of you interested.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I did.
I literally was thinking about that during the movie, like, this is going to be so funny.
Guys, I have a great idea. I was not expecting that.
Anyway, if you can't tell, we are coming to you with a podcast reviewing the latest Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson. So we are really excited. Tyler, are you excited?
I was super excited. I'm excited to be back. So life updates. Let's give an update on where I am. Currently, we are doing this online for the first time. We tried the other day, and my mic did not want to work. Not Monica's was fine. And so that took us a bit, but now we are here recording online. I don't know how many miles away, but currently I'm in Florida and she is in Ohio. Because currently I'm at the DCP. I am working for Disney in the Disney College program. Very big change.
Yes, he found out about this in like December, and then like Christmas and everything was happening. And then he moved in early February. So we've just been kind of settling in, or he's been kind of settling in, just getting adjusted. And so now we're ready to get back into the swing of things. We'll probably won't be able to post episodes as frequently, but anytime a good movie comes out, we are gonna make an effort to record remotely.
We both still have our AMC Stubs A-list, which lets us see 3 movies a week. Not sponsored, by the way.
Shout out to AMC. Thank you, Nicole Kidman.
You're the best. Thank you, Nicole Kidman. Wait. Oh, I did see it today.
I know, I did too, but I hadn't seen it in a while. Like the other 2 movies I saw, and then this one I was like, thank God, she's back.
I missed good old Nicole. No, but I have a bus that can take me straight to Disney Springs, which has an AMC there. And so I can go whenever I want on my days off, or if I have extra time at night or something. So I will be doing that, and we will be making podcasts on big movies. I don't know there's not really that many movies coming out soon, but we do have some trailers to talk about. Actually, just one.
Yeah, the trailer we're going to talk about today is actually the trailer for Elvis that just came out. The new upcoming biopic?
Yeah, biopic.
I'm not sure. Biopic.
I think it's biopic.
It's biopic or biopic?
I think it's biopic.
TBD. Who knows? But
it's not biopic. Biopic sounds like an adjective. It sounds like a bionic, like a Lego bionic.
This reminds me of a side story. That you know the word like gamut? Like the gamut. Well, it's spelled Gamut, and like I was fully saying like gamut to like many people in my life.
I don't think I've ever heard of gamut, but gamut.
I had only read it.
So it sounds like gabagool. You just were thinking of that. Gamut.
Gabagool.
I've never heard gamut in my life.
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to use it in a sentence, but I truly can't think of the word. But it's spelled Gamut, and like I had
the whole gamut of human.
The whole gamut, yeah.
Human emotion. It's basically a complete range. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought, like the gamut, and so
I've never heard that word. I don't think I've ever heard of gamut. I would just say range.
It's like in Twilight, one of the characters' name is Carlisle, but it's spelled like Carlisle. And so the whole time I was reading books, I was like, Carlisle. And then I saw in the movies, and I was like, what?
How does this work?
Anyway, back to Elvis. What are your thoughts on Elvis?
So I didn't see it for the first time in theaters. I saw it like on my phone because it was like Elvis.
Same.
And when I saw it, I hadn't seen the thumbnail of who was Elvis. So I'm watching it. Tom Hanks talks, and I'm like, Tom Hanks is Elvis? I was like, no way. But I'm very glad that he's not, because that would have been awful. Yeah. But no, I am very excited for this. I think I love Bohemian Rhapsody. I feel like I would like Rocketman if I watched it. But I've
never seen Rocketman either, but a lot of people say Rocketman's better than
I know
Bohemian Rhapsody, and I love Bohemian Rhapsody. Like I've watched it multiple times.
Dude, Bohemian Rhapsody is so good. I can watch the final 20 minutes, like their concert. I will watch that because there's a video on YouTube where you can watch that
where it's like side by side.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool.
No, but I love the biopics, especially when they do like stuff like really, really in depth, like it seems like they're doing with this. So it's kind of cool. I also like how like in the trailer they kind of allude to the fact that like the manager guy is like a nobody, like because like you don't like we every day now you only think of Elvis, you don't think of that guy. But there's like one line in the trailer where he's like, we're just people trying to like become an eternity or something. I don't remember the exact line, but it's like, yeah, it's like we're children longing for eternity or something, and no one knows the manager, so it's kind of like ironic and sad.
Yeah, I don't know the story of Elvis fully, but to me it seems like maybe like his manager. Well, I was researching a little bit, and people are like saying that his manager is kind of the reason like his downfall to drugs and stuff happened. So I think it's gonna be really interesting to see his story. I love like the music, like I love Elvis's music, so I'm excited.
It does.
My hot take is that.
Oh,
sorry. So sorry.
You're good. I was going to say real quick, it does seem like they're leaning into the fact that it's going to be like revealed that Tom Hanks's character is not a good person. For some reason, that just it gives me that vibe. So I think that's going to be fun. But your hot take?
Yeah. Oh, that guy does not look like Elvis at all. Like
she
even
just
a little
now
bit.
mentioned to me this, and I'm like, I can see where she's coming from, but he has like the Elvis like look, that like stare that he does. He has that down pat like already. Like that's just
and the voice is really good. Like I think the voice is really good, but and the stage presence, like I think that I like everything else, but I don't know. I'm not a casting agent. I'm sure that they did their best to cast this perfectly. So I'll just be quiet about it. But
I don't think
a
it'll
lot
throw
of
me
people are
off.
saying to me, because I like publicly announced this on TikTok, and people were commenting like, "Oh well, like the guy that played Elton John didn't look anything like him, and Rami Malek didn't look like Freddie Mercury." But I think Rami Malek did look like Freddie Mercury.
I agree
to an extent, as much as you could.
But yeah, and I don't also know. It's like for a movie like that, they purposely don't show you any videos of the actual thing unless they're at the beginning or the end, because they know it's going to throw it off. So I feel like once you get into the movie, it's not going to be that bad.
Right, and it's just about the story. And if they looked for someone that looked more like him than someone without the acting, like if they just look for a look like that without acting ability, that would be worse.
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
Rami Malek, even if he didn't look 100% like Freddie Mercury, there's no denying that like he's super talented and acted the role perfectly. So
yeah,
I'll just be quiet about it.
Just live with forward. It, Monica. It's not that big a deal.
I know. I'll try my best.
No, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think that one looks super good. Comes out in June, I think.
Since I know since we haven't like been here for a while, we could always do like short talkings about like other trailers that we've been excited for. Like Lightyear looks really good. I'm really excited for that one. Obviously being an MCU fan, I'm excited for Doctor Strange. That's gonna be great.
I'm trying to think of something else.
The other one I've seen recently was Nope by Jordan Peele, which I've never saw Us. Monica did. I saw Get Out. Monica hasn't. So he's opposing movies of Jordan Peele, and he's really good. I'm not sure I will always be in the mood for a Jordan Peele style movie. Sometimes I think it's just like sometimes I'm like it's like a very specific like vibe of horror movie, and I don't feel like
I agree. You should definitely watch Us. It's worth watching. There's like a lot going on. I think the ending's really good, but and it's like really well, like the cinematography is great.
Yeah, I would say the same thing about.
You're right. It's heavy. It's really heavy, and like sometimes like I don't know.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just sometimes I heard I can't. Like I'm just like.
I heard that people think Nope stands for Not of Planet Earth, and I was like.
That would be actually cool.
True. So I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because a lot of people think it's aliens because it looks like aliens.
So I think a lot of people are saying things going to be not of planet Earth. I think that one's going to be really good.
I mean, he always makes good movies. Like even if they're bad, they're still fun to watch. Like because like the cinematography is so good and all that stuff. But I mean, other movies coming out are really not that big. Serena, we were just talking about this. Looks interesting, but I don't know if I'll want to use my time down here to go see it. And that's the unfortunate part.
Exactly. I want to see that dog movie with Channing Tatum. But no one I know will see it with me because it's gonna probably be sad.
It's gonna be sad.
The dog will probably die. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to be a good movie.
Oh, I'm gonna see the rom-com with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum and Daniel Radcliffe.
I just saw that today. That trailer. I didn't know what it was. I can't remember.
The Lost City.
Yeah, The Lost City.
I know I'm gonna be seeing that one.
Gives me
so if you happen to see it, we'll do.
It gives me like comedy Indiana Jones vibes, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I love Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, understandable. She's really funny. I like her in The Proposal the most.
Honestly, one of the best rom-coms of all time.
Honestly, Proposal slaps.
I know, I love The Proposal.
All right, so do we want to get into the Batman?
Get into the Batman?
The Batman.
Let's do it. As always, we'll do a spoiler-free section, so we're just going to talk briefly about our quick thoughts and stuff, and then we will warn you before we get into movie spoilers, so do not panic.
Yes, so...
And come back.
Regular talk about the movie starting now. I will give a short, synopsis of, basically what you'd find in, trailers and stuff. Batman fights the Riddler. There you go.
Nice. Nice.
Basically, Riddler is, doing stuff around Gotham, and Batman's just trying to figure it out. Which is interesting because it's a different style of movie, but to other DC, especially other Batman movies. So I was very, very happy about it.
Yeah, I was not looking forward to this. At first I was like, I don't want to do a podcast about it. Just see it without me. It's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's going to be so dark. And I was just like, don't even see it. And then everyone was like, you should do a podcast. And I was like, okay, fine. I will see the movie, but I am not happy about it.
Because Monica
I actually really ended up liking it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, the online stuff's throwing me off. Monica likes MCU, but she mainly likes the comedy. Why would you want to go see the darkest movie?
I just think MCU has a lot of moments that will relieve you from the severity of the movie, and this was just welcome to hell. And I'm like, okay, well,
are we sure about this? Yeah.
Yeah, but I actually ended up really liking it, and for me, I think it was because it had the mystery factor, film noir murder mystery factor.
Yes.
And it really kept me interested for the first half. What about you?
Yeah, no, I felt the exact same way. It was very nice to have a movie that was based off of a superhero be so distinct from MCU, because I feel like a lot of movies nowadays, especially if they're about superheroes, just want to be MCU. They just want to be quippy, all that type of stuff. Free Guy was like that. I'm pretty sure I just saw a trailer for the next Ryan Reynolds movie, which is The Atom Project. It looks like it's going to be that. Everything wants to be quippy because it wants to try to form to the new age of superhero movies. So it's very, very nice to for them to basically hey, we're going to take a step back. We're going to do a superhero movie, but it's really a film, a noir, detective film. And that's what I love about Batman. I love I have always loved detective stuff. That's why I like murder mysteries and that type of thing. But so it was a lot more fun to me than, say, the Dark Knight movies. Because as much as everyone loves the Joker in the Dark Knight movies, everything else with the Dark Knight movies is not interesting to me.
Exactly. When you think of Dark Knight, you think of the Joker. Yeah. It's mostly a Joker movie. So I wanted to watch that before we recorded, because the big question everyone's saying is is it better than Dark Knight? And I don't feel like I can confidently answer that, because I truly haven't seen Dark Knight in 10 years.
And I haven't seen it in a while either, but I don't know if I would say this is the Dark Knight. I'd probably watch the Dark Knight over this one because it's shorter and you have a more fun movie with the Joker in it. It's more interesting. It's more constantly oh, hey, banger, here's something to look at. Whereas this one is very, very slow, and it does it well.
I know what you mean, but for me, I almost was once I left the theater, I was just I would actually see this again in theaters. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really loved every minute.
Oh, I would not go back to see this.
I really love Zoe Kravitz, and I think that she was really interesting.
Was that Catwoman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I really like her as an actress, and I think that she really added a nice element. I also loved. Oh wait, is this a spoiler? I'm not going to mention this till later. Anyway, but anyway, I liked her. I will elaborate later.
Okay. All right. I'll try to make sure that we go back to that. No, but I would not go back to see this in theaters. Definitely not in theaters. I may see it when it comes out again, but
yeah,
for me, it's long,
yeah,
it's slow, it's good, it's well done, but
I never found myself bored.
See, I was thinking about that because during the movie, I never once was like, "Oh, I'm bored." But after the movie, like in my mind, I was like, "Wow, the first half is leagues above the second half, in my opinion." Once you get to the third act, I do not like the third act. It's fine, but it's just such a different movie than what it had like set up to be that it was kind of like a shift, and I didn't like the shift.
I totally know what you mean. We'll get into the specifics in a little bit. But I know what you mean. For me, I don't know. DC has never really done it for me. Especially with, first of all, my biggest beef with DC is like pick a universe and like stick to it. Like, how can you change universes like 10 times in 5 years?
The problem is that they've only had one universe in the Joker. That's been the only universe. It's so bad that no one wants that universe. That's why it's changing. No one likes the DC movies.
So Ben Affleck and Christian Bale, Batmans were the same universe?
No, but Christian Bale was before like DC was even trying to do that. That was just a Batman thing.
I see.
Yeah, Christian Bale is not in the conversations at all. It was never going to be in the universe.
So the Ben Affleck Superman one is like was them trying to establish a universe and like everyone hated it.
No,
so they made Justice League and then they're like, we're done with this now.
No. It started with Man of Steel, which was the Superman. Then it was
which I actually liked that one.
Right. That one was pretty good. It was like kind of it was a good introduction. Then it went Batman v Superman. Once Batman v Superman happened and it was really, really bad, they did Wonder Woman, which was good. Wonder Woman was actually really good. But then they started bridging out into further things. So they bridged out into Aquaman. I never saw Aquaman, but I've heard it was not good. But this is all in the same universe. Then they did Justice League, which brought everyone together. And Justice League was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And then...
Did you watch the Zack Snyder cut?
Yeah, the Snyder cut is so good.
That's crazy. Also... I haven't seen either.
Also Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is in the universe as well. It's just so unrelated that no one talks about it. Same with Birds of Prey and the new Suicide Squad, which I've never seen the new Suicide Squad.
So simultaneously, they're actively making Suicide Squads, which are part of the old universe.
No, that's
alongside, or that's in
the DCE.
So Suicide Squad is Ben Affleck universe, or is
Suicide Squad is Ben Affleck universe. Ben Affleck universe, like Justice League, that is called the DCEU. Then there's Joker and now the Batman, which aren't together.
So we don't even know but what I heard was that they're trying to make a new universe out of this, like similar to Marvel, and they're gonna make like branch off like series in this universe.
Yeah, that's what I hope for.
DC is like you need to finalize one universe before you move on to the next. Because how can you actively have like two universes of DC like existing? It makes it really confusing for like the people. But I guess Marvel does the same thing because they have shows that aren't canon, coinciding with.
Are you sure?
But now they're starting to make those shows canon. You're right.
Exactly. They just started making them canon because they're going off of Netflix and onto Disney Plus.
They're just embarrassing themselves.
But the problem is that the DCEU sucks. Why would you want to continue that? Other people...
I agree with them. They shouldn't have made a Suicide Squad this year. Like, how can you make a Suicide Squad last year and be like, we're actually going to start over right now?
Contracts. If the contract has already been filled, they have to abide by it. Why do you think Aquaman 2 is happening? Aquaman 2 is coming out, and I don't think it's going to lead anywhere. It might be the end, honestly. But
they just like kill off
the only one I'm not sure about is Black Adam with The Rock, which looks really cool. I'm very, very excited for that one because it looks comic booky. But I don't know which one that's fitting in. The problem is that Batman is so different from the other ones that it's hard to like put the Batman in any other universe. Like, how would you put like Robert Pattinson's Batman in like a Justice League style movie? It would be really, really odd. So that's my.
You can definitely tell that. I think that you can definitely tell because Robert Pattinson seems significantly younger than other Batmans have been in the past. That they're just this is like an introduction, even though they didn't give like necessarily his backstory.
Yeah.
Like we didn't need a backstory movie. I think you can tell they're trying to make an introduction into a new universe. So maybe they'll just kind of let this one simmer for a little bit, let the other movies play out, and see how it goes.
Yeah, they don't even focus on like the fact that like they talk about it, but they never show that Bruce's parents getting killed, which has always been a big thing in every Batman movie. Is that they have to show it basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Justice League didn't do it, or Batman v Superman didn't do it. But it never even addressed it. In this one, it hints at it, but it's like, oh yeah, you should know this. Like, it's Batman. Come on, guys.
I was just thinking about in Batman versus Superman, spoiler alert for that movie specifically, how at the end, it was like, your mom's name is Martha too. Never mind. Like, I won't be killing you anymore or whatever.
It's the best. That's literally my favorite meme. Martha, why'd you say that name? It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Why did they do that?
It's literally so dumb.
I would argue. I think I really enjoyed all of this. I think Robert Pattinson. I don't know. I don't have like as much like passion for it. Like some people are like, is he a good Batman? Is he not a good Batman? Like, I don't know. I think he did good. I think that his Bruce Wayne scenes were a bit too like emo kid for me.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about that specifically.
Yeah.
This Robert Pattinson is my definitive Batman. I never really cared for Christian Bale's Batman. I just figured he was like one tone. He didn't really have anything going on. But Robert Pattinson's Batman is really, really good. He does really, really well at like being standoffish, which is supposed to be his whole character, and like his detective work. Like there's one scene in the beginning. He's doing detective work and he's not saying a word. He's literally just walking around and showing stuff, which is really, really cool because like the cinematography also shows what he's looking at. So it's like they do it in like really, really unique ways to show us. And so that gives me like good Batman vibes because he's like, I have to do this, but I don't interact with anyone. But his Bruce Wayne, that Batman like carries over into Bruce Wayne, which is really odd to me because in most Batman media, Bruce Wayne is like really, really charismatic and he's like really, really happy all the time. So it's weird having Bruce Wayne also be like reclusive and standoffish, which is...
Yeah, people are saying in the comics this is like canon for some, or not canon, whatever. This is more closely related to the comics where in his younger years he's more like brooding and like emo and like depressed and socially awkward, and then like as he grows older he comes into like his more masculine, strong, like
like energetic almost personality. It kind of makes sense because we don't know when this is in like Batman's like career. We don't know how fresh it is, but in like comics they talk about this a lot. The Batman doesn't think that Bruce Wayne is his identity. He thinks that Batman is his identity. So like there's like one time where it's like the character is like reading Batman's mind, trying to figure out who he is, trying to figure out if he's Bruce Wayne. And literally he's like, who are you? Like asking his mind. And he's like, I'm Batman. Like that's literally, he thinks he is Batman. Like that's his definitive thing.
Yeah.
And so I can understand if that's what they were going with because he basically is Batman when he's with people. He doesn't care. Like he doesn't talk to anyone. And the only thing I wish is that I wish we would have gotten more Bruce Wayne and had it be a little bit more played up. But I also understand why they didn't do that because like
we didn't need to make it any longer.
They didn't need to make it any longer. And like I feel like Bruce Wayne stuff would have detracted from the other things going on because this movie is not about like Batman trying to like deal with like his life or like stuff like that. It's literally just about Batman stopping the Riddler, and there's no better way to explain it. The Riddler is the only thing going on in this movie besides like, and how he gets there with like through his detective skills. So it's like it would have detracted from all of that, and it was like presented in an urgent manner. So it's like, would he really have time to be Bruce? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that they were trying to see how the audience like responded, and I think they're really gonna run with this. I think they're gonna make him like a huge franchise off him. I'm sure we'll get a movie delving more into Bruce Wayne and this past and everything.
My hope is that they basically make this its own like universe, but they only keep it Gotham. It's only Batman related, because I can't see him working with Superman. Like, that's not a thing to me. Like, Robert Pattinson, this version of Batman would never work with someone who's charismatic like Superman. That's just not how it would work. But if they wanted to make it like the cartoon shows, if they wanted to do that, they could and make it really, really cartoony. But they would have to focus less on Robert Pattinson, because if there's so many other characters going on, and then Robert Pattinson's just in the corner sulking and like brooding and being like being quiet, that's just not how it wouldn't feel right. So I hope they just keep it Gotham and they keep it gritty. That's what I hope.
Our uncle Bubba, who saw the movie with us, he told me that they had like 3 series plans three TV series planned based on this universe, and one of them was going to be like Gotham PD. One of them was going to be like an Arkham Asylum show, and I can't remember the other one. I think that would be cool.
That would be really cool. They just talked about how, or I saw on Instagram that the Arkham series is that, because they were talking about it, like they were talking about how it is. It was, the Gotham PD show has basically like been evolved and is now like a haunted house show, like a horror show about Arkham Asylum. So it's basically going to be like them going through Arkham Asylum with all the patients there, which sounds really cool to me. I just hope they keep it.
I think that'd be cool.
I just hope that they realized from this movie that they needed something to distinguish themselves from Marvel, and this is the perfect way to do it, by making it super dark, super slow, and super gritty. It's so unique.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think that they really did a good job, and I agree. It didn't make me feel like when I watched the other, like when I watched Man of Steel, etc., I was kind of comparing it to Marvel the whole time. But this time I really feel like I never felt like a moment to compare it to Marvel. I was always thinking like, oh, this is just a good movie. And even if you're not super into superheroes, I think this was a good movie. Like, I think that's why I liked it. I will say that one thing about Batman that I do think is silly, and I think they made a lot of jokes in this movie about it, which is funny, is like in the this is the only time I compare it to Marvel. In the MCU, like in Marvel, everyone has these funny little costumes, but it's like for a reason. They're either like from another planet or it's just like armor. But like Batman, it's just like, why are you wearing that? Like, why are you wearing a cape? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But there's like a ton of jokes throughout the movie being like, what is this guy wearing?
Yeah. Like, who is this freak? No, I know exactly what you're talking about. And there's like one specific moment late in the movie that they like make fun of it in like the in one of the action scenes, which is really funny. Yeah. Monica knows what I'm talking about. If you've seen that movie, you would know, but it's actually funny, so I don't want to like spoil it.
Yeah.
No, but like, yeah, you're right. I never compared this to Marvel while I was watching it. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It's just so unique. Also, like, there's no movies like this coming out. Like, I haven't seen a really, really dark and slow movie in a while. At least one that was well done, that kept me engaged. So this was like actually really nice, instead of it being like, oh, because like I went in with like the mentality of like, oh, I'm watching a superhero movie. Even though I knew it was darker, I knew it was a superhero movie. Whereas coming out of it, I was just like, oh, I just saw a movie. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think that was good. I think they did a really good job with it. I think Robert Pattinson did great. I do think sometimes it's hard to not see him as Edward from Twilight. But I just think that
I never had that. I watched Twilight.
Have you never seen Twilight?
I watched it once when I was young, but I don't have that in my mind. And he looks more sickly in this one, to be honest. Like, he looks like he's dying. So that's
just how he looks. Yeah. He's like pale and British, so that's just how he looks.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So I never got
Twilight
that
was like such like an integral part of my like childhood and like teen years that like I'm just like he's Edward. But so the only reason I feel that way is because this character is also like brooding and like emo, just like Edward. So sometimes I was just like, Eddie,
stop doing that.
But
you need to take care of Nessie.
No, it was fine. And then the other thing, I don't like the way they styled his hair, like the like black hair, like covering his eye in a triangle. I was like,
it was
this is
very
2006.
odd. It was very
What's
odd
happening?
because like specific strands would be like tied like gelled together, and it would be like spikes like in front of his eyes.
That was just he looked like an anime or something. It was I think that was kind of silly.
It really stylized. It was really funny.
It's hard to keep your hair styled in Gotham, dude. It'd be raining. It do be raining.
It do be raining.
Tommy looked over at me halfway through the movie. He was like, "Oh my god, it's raining again!" And I was like, "Yeah."
That's just how Gotham be. Gotham is kind of just like because they talk about at one point they talk about like hurricanes, and I'm like, I mean, I guess it would make sense. If it rains all the time, they have to worry about.
You want to get into spoilers?
Before we get into spoilers, you want to talk about like general like more movie things, like regular movie things. Like the cinematography is so good.
Yeah,
like
I think that makes it stand out. I think that makes it stand out and feel more of like a solid, well-rounded film, rather than like a Marvel film. It's like MCU. There's not really like crazy cinematography happening in like a Marvel movie because they're just trying to like get you the plot.
Even Eternals, which was long. Thinking back on it, it feels like, hey, we're constantly doing something. This was
they're just like
This one, like you felt like something was happening, but it was like the way that he was going about it was slow, which makes more sense.
Walking slow.
He do be walking slow.
I saw a TikTok that said they could have cut down the movie by like an hour if he just walked a little faster.
There's in the Zack Snyder's Justice League, there's like a moment in the regular Justice League where Flash, like Ben Affleck throws a batarang, and the Flash like when he's like going fast, they slow time around basically. And in that scene, in the regular one, he like looks at it and then looks back and then grabs it. In the Zack Snyder cut, he like looks back like 5 times. And then catches it. And so it's like you could have just stopped that at the one. We didn't need him to look back 5 different times. Just cut the time.
Oh no.
So that's what it kind of that is very true. If he just picked up his pace a little bit faster, like, bro, this is a serious situation we're trying to deal with.
I know. There was sometimes where I was like, let's pick up the pace, buddy.
Come on, put some pep in that step. Come on. No, but cinematography was absolutely stunning. I loved I loved the color palettes. It was I noticed it like halfway through. I hadn't really thought about it, but like it's basically black and white.
I was thinking that. Remember how I sent you that From website?
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway, side note for the listeners, go to from.com. It's this really cool concept. Like it's a piece of art where they take every frame from a movie, get the average color of it, and turn it into this like striped like art piece. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's really interesting. I really want one. But I was thinking, like the From is just like a black square. It's like really a black rectangle.
And then there'd be like red, like dots of red.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by From, but From does cool.
Come on, From.
It's like $100 right now per frame. I want one.
But they're expensive. I want one so bad.
I don't know which one I would get because it sucks.
I know.
I was thinking about this. This is a very, very big side note from the movie, but this is interesting topic. All the ones I want are like brown.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Like It's a Wonderful Life is all brown.
That makes sense.
Princess and the Frog.
Did you see the Nightmare Before Christmas one?
Yeah, that one's pretty.
That one's really cool.
The Princess and the Frog one is also very pretty.
I know, that one's really cool. My thing is the ones I want, like, I want to put in my living room, and it doesn't fit the vibe of the living room. I kind of wanted the Halloween one, but it's like all like black and brown. Yeah. So I was like, it's not really gonna go. So anyway, but I'm gonna get one soon.
Nice.
The Legally Blonde one's really cool.
Oh, really? Is it just mostly pink?
Yeah.
That's actually cool. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
Anyway, check out From. Anyway,
but
back to
the color palette is really good, and I'm glad. Like, it's just.
I know that you were saying, and other people were saying, I don't pay attention to this in movies, but you said you were having some issues with the music.
Mm-hmm. So I'm a music person. So. I play percussion, but music in movies sometimes is hard for me to pick up on, and sometimes isn't. And in this movie, for the first half of the movie, they use the same motif, like theme, for every single scene. And I noticed it. It's like really, really simple. I don't remember it now, but it's so simple that it's like hard. It was hard for me to not notice it when it showed up. And it wasn't like a different rendition of the theme. It was just the same theme. And it drove me absolutely insane because there was like scenes where people were talking. It was just a normal conversation. Nothing epic was happening. And the theme was going on and it was building up. And I'm like, they're just talking. They're just having a conversation. Like, this is not leading anywhere. And it absolutely drove me insane. I did not notice that.
I don't really pay attention to like music in movies. I mean, I think everyone like does to an extent, like, because it obviously impacts like the feeling and like mood of the movie. But like, I would not have noticed that. So I didn't notice that. So next time I watch it, I'm gonna have to take a listen for it.
You definitely try it in the first half. There's something that happens in the second half where like they reference a song, and that song becomes the new motif of the movie, which is actually really, really cool in my opinion, because like the motif in the like first half is very, very like dreadful. And the second half is just different. It kind of changes the vibe of it, which is more spoilers, but I won't get into it. But it like changes the vibe, and it's actually really, really, it was a really, really cool touch that I noticed on. But that was like the only cool like music thing that I saw that I heard in the movie. It was just like not interesting, which kind of sucks because I like to notice stuff, but mostly I don't notice when it's good. When it's good, it's in my subconscious. When it's bad, I can notice it. So that's kind of like my thing with that, which it drove me insane. But I don't think I have anything else. It's really good. Would you recommend people go see it?
I definitely would. I actually think it almost sounds like I enjoyed it more than you, which is crazy. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and give it like a 9 out of 10.
Dang.
I know.
So my other movie I've seen this year, I've seen 2 other movies. I've seen Death on the Nile and Uncharted, which you will get a double episode next week. Actually, since nothing is coming out, you will get a double episode on movies we have both seen, just at different times, and haven't gotten a chance to record until now. But I gave Death on the Nile a 7.5, and it's very hard for me to tell if I like Batman more or less than that one.
Hands down, I like Batman more than Death on the Nile. I can't say whether or not I liked Batman more than Uncharted, but they're such different movies that like Uncharted, I would say it's just like good, but like is like a super high quality film experience. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts?
We're gonna have some differing opinions in our next episode, so that's nice to hear. Stay tuned for that. We don't usually have different opinions. I will have to give Batman an 8, just because I do think it is very good and it's very well made. I think I had more fun with Death on the Nile, but Death on the Nile was meant to be more fun. It's almost like the Joker. For sure. Like a Joker was really, really sad, and it was a really good movie. But I would not watch it.
I was gonna say, I don't care what people say. The Joker is like one of the best movies of the past 5 years, and I stand by that. But I will never be watching it again because it was actually the most uncomfortable and unpleasant experience I've ever had.
I'm sorry. It's just it's not. It's like the Saw movies. Like the Saw movies, like can be fun, but why would you want to watch it more than once?
It's like Saw, but like emotional turmoil.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. It really is. So I think I'll give Batman an 8. I would watch other movies before it, but it is very good.
One more non-spoilery comment about Batman. I liked how they so all Batmans, when you look at them, he clearly has eyeliner on with the mask, but this one they actually like showed the eyeliner when he had his mask off. And I saw a TikTok that was like, POV, you're Bruce Wayne and you just saw the bat signal and he's like putting eyeliner on in the bathroom like hurriedly. And I was like, honestly, they're not wrong.
No, but like that's one of the things that people like were always complaining about. They were like, where does his eyeliner go? Like people were actually genuinely upset because he wears eyeliner in the comics, I'm pretty sure. Like when he's Batman. So it's like, this is really cool to see them actually like do it. And it kind of fit the vibe.
I actually like that aspect of it. It was kind of funny. Every time he had the eyeliner on, I would like giggle.
Yeah, it was really funny. So Monica, is it buzzworthy?
I think it is buzzworthy.
Yeah, it's definitely buzzworthy. Yeah. Especially right now, nothing else out. It's buzzworthy. If you like, maybe if you don't want to go see a super long movie, it's not for you. Because it is a slow burn.
I just don't think it feels as long as it did. I did not think it felt like 3 hours.
I remember at one point wanting to check the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which
And
is
that's
not
always an
something
indicator
normal.
for me.
Which is not something normal for me.
I usually want to check the time, and I did not. But I never leave movies halfway through. But I did go get more popcorn halfway through.
Oh, really?
So that could help. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was.
Oh,
I
and
went alone, so
when I went to get more popcorn, like crucial things happened, and I was like, "This should be a good time." And then I got back and like all of these things happened, and I was like, "Good."
Yeah, I don't know when the best time would be to leave, but that sounds bad.
Anyway, let's get into spoilers.
Yeah. So spoilers are going to begin in 3, 2, 1. Before Monica talks about her biggest gripe, I'm just going to give a very, very quick synopsis of the movie. That way, if you don't care about spoilers and you still haven't seen it, you can understand. Basically, there's a lot that happens in this movie, so it might be hard for me to remember exactly how it happened. But basically, Batman is trying to stop the Riddler from killing these like public officials, stuff like that. And then he basically goes through like multiple means. He finds the Penguin, which is like a mob boss, which is a big Batman villain. I'm pretty sure he finds Cobblepot, which is another villain. It might be Cobblepot, it might not be. It might be someone who's like him. But basically, after like going through a whole bunch of things, the Riddler keeps calling out Batman and like saying that he's part of this too, whatever. Batman finds out that his parents were involved in like more of the mafia type stuff to cover up something so that way Thomas Wayne could be mayor. Stuff like that happens. And then eventually he catches Riddler but his plan is still like destroys Gotham. And then Batman's like, oh, I'm going to be the Hope. That's really all. It's kind of hard to explain because so much does happen, but there you go. Now let's get into Monica's gripe with the movie.
I didn't have the gripe. I'm just saying what other people said.
Oh, it wasn't your gripe.
There's too many villains, but I disagree.
I disagree.
My only gripe was that I think it was clear. So basically, like the Riddler is leaving clues for who's the informant, who's like the undercover guy that's revealing all of this stuff about the public officials and stuff. So that's like Riddler keeps leaving clues about who he's gonna kill next. And like there's a good chunk of time where they're like trying to figure out this last clue. And to me, it was like very clear that it was Falcone like the whole time. Like, yeah, I was just like, okay, guys, go get him. Like, what's happening?
So it was actually really funny because I never like thought Falcone was the rat, but I never really thought anyone was the rat. I kind of never like in my mind. I don't know why. I never just was like, who is the rat? I don't think I cared enough about who the rat was to actually like want to find out who it was. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was more interested in the Batman Riddler dynamic than I was, oh, who's the rat?
Yeah, I agree. I did think it was funny when like one of the clues where he had to like have like a USB drive and then he found like a computer and like they were like messaging and the way they were like IMing was just like so funny to me, and he was just like IDK, like what's going on, and then he was like OMG WTF and then, like I don't know, like there was one specific way
at the end the Twitch stream. You know, that was so funny. Yeah, that looked so off. I hated that. No, but like, I don't think there were too many villains. But no, I didn't think about who the rat was because I was more interested in the Thomas Wayne like sins of my father type deal. I was way more interested in that than I was, oh, who is the rat? Is it the Penguin? Like I never really thought of anything like that.
Yeah, I knew it was Falcone.
Understandable. Thinking back on it makes sense, but
what I was referencing earlier is I loved the romance between Catwoman and Batman. I really, really enjoyed that and was happy that if there's like romance in a movie, that automatically makes me more interested. So I think that's why like I enjoyed that aspect.
No, what did you think? The Bruce Wayne Selina Kyle romance is always really good. No matter what, you can't go wrong with Bruce Wayne Selina Kyle romance. It's like always done super well. Because it's almost like forbidden, like, oh, because they didn't play it up a lot in this movie, but like Selina Kyle, Catwoman is a villain in some like many stories because she's a thief. She goes out for for revenge a lot. Obviously, she did in this movie, but it was very, very like dumbed down. Like it wasn't like mentioned that like they were on opposing sides. which is kind of upsetting because it makes it more interesting. It's almost like a Spider-Man Black Cat type of thing, because Black Cat is also a cat burglar, and Spider-Man's trying to stop him or stop her. And so it's like, that's the vibe I get. But also Spider-Man and Black Cat are like forbidden love, like that type of stuff. But like,
well, the other thing is she didn't know who he was. She didn't know he was Bruce Wayne. Yeah. So I think it's hard to have that, like, I don't know. She didn't know that yet. So I think that kind of is what adds to the tension.
Yeah. I mean, she still doesn't know at the end of the movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that was really good. I think their kiss, like, against, like, the sunset with, like, the blood backlighting was, like, so cool. I, like, really loved that scene. And, yeah, there's, like, only really any other spoilers at all for you?
I liked the Penguin's performance. I don't remember who it was, but he was very, very good.
I agree completely. Hilarious. I really enjoyed him.
He kind of brought, like, some, like, lightheartedness to the movie, which was kind of needed.
I agree, and I think I was wondering how they were going to tackle the Penguin, and because, Danny DeVito played him, like, you know what I mean? It's a very goofy, like, it's a dude that's supposed to literally look like a penguin, you know what I mean? So Danny I was like, DeVito? How are they going to... No, in the previous version, it's
is it
in the old movies? It's Danny DeVito.
Are you? I did not know that.
Yeah, in the Michael Bolton ones, it's Danny DeVito, who obviously is like who did I say? Michael Bolton? That's fine.
I was like, who's Michael Bolton?
Who is that? No, sorry. In the Michael Keaton ones, it's Danny DeVito.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. So, I was like, that's not Danny DeVito. I would know if it was.
I was just wondering, like, how are they going to make a character like called the Penguin, like, into the series universe? But I think it was cast really well.
It was cast really well, and it definitely gives me, like, Italian mob boss vibes. So
yeah, for sure.
Hang on, let me look up who that guy is, because he reminded me of someone. I don't know if it actually is the guy. 1 second, the Batman Penguin actor. No, that is actually really funny. It's Colin Farrell. But you know who he reminded me of? He reminded me of the burglar from Home Alone.
Oh, that's funny.
He gave me that vibe the entire time. I thought it was him because it kind of, like, looks like him. It's just with extra prosthetics, but, like, that's just who he reminded me of.
I had no idea that was Colin Farrell. That's amazing.
Yeah. No, I really had no idea. I can't remember who it was, but
they did a really good job.
Someone on set did not recognize him when they saw him.
I mean, I truly didn't. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I think that the lieutenant, like the police guy that was, like, partnering with Batman,
Commissioner Gordon. He is the best version of Commissioner Gordon on big screen.
Yeah, that was awesome. Speaking of, what did you think of speaking of characters and casting, what did you think of our little Joker teaser?
It was not good.
Do you know who it is?
No.
Sorry, it's actually the guy that played from Eternals, the one that was, like, kind of evil, but then, like, wasn't evil at the end.
Icarus?
Crap. Yeah, I believe
the main dude who was
no.
Oh,
no.
The I know what you're talking about. The dude that has, like, his own little village.
Yes,
that's him.
Yeah, that's him. Well, sorry, in the IMDb cast list, he's listed as Arkham, like, asylum prisoner.
Got it.
Because, like, there's no Joker cast, so, like, everyone's, like, assuming, like, well, it's a big name actor, he would make sense for the Joker. So yeah, I'm trying to think of who he plays.
Absolutely hilarious. I did not know that.
Druig in Eternals.
That's the name.
His name is Barry Keoghan.
Wow.
So I can see him for a Joker. I don't know. I know you. So you didn't like him?
I did not like the Joker tease. I did not think we needed a Joker tease. I think it would have been actually more interesting if it had been the Riddler in future movies went crazy in Arkham Asylum. It went more crazy.
Has that been a plot? That been a plot before? Oh, okay.
It'd be unique. It'd be new. Mm-hmm. Because that's what I thought they were going with. Because I saw the dude, I heard the dude, and I was like, "Is that Joker?" And then it was, like, showing the Riddler, like, go insane, and his way of speaking was kind of, like, insaney. So I was like, it would be really cool if they, like, did, like, a thing where, like, he turns into the Joker, because it kind of gave me that Joker vibe. But I just do not like the laugh. The laugh, it kind of makes sense for a Joker to be, like, giggly, but I like the deeper, like more maniacal laugh.
Well, I think if you look at the more recent Joker, like from the Joker movie, he had more of that high pitched laugh.
Yeah, you're right.
Versus
and I liked
Ledger,
that
who
one.
had the deeper laugh. So I think maybe he was like trying to play more off the most recent Joker.
I don't know, because I liked the one in Joker. So that's kind of weird that I didn't like this one. I think I was just so.
You might need more time with him. Yeah.
I think I was just so annoyed by like we don't need a Joker in every Batman. Like Joker, like Batman does not have to be tied down to Joker. There are other really good villains. Like I've always said this, DC has the way better villains. Marvel has the better characters. But specifically, Batman villains are the best villains I've ever seen. And there's more than Joker. So I kind of just get annoyed when they're like, oh, we have to put Joker in. It's a Batman movie. So
yeah, I think they're probably pandering to an audience one.
But I've heard that in sequels, it's not going to be Joker. Currently,
then why bring him up?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's like they're trying to make a Sinister Six, but instead of Batman or instead of Spider-Man, it's Batman. A lot of people think that the next villain is going to be Two-Face, which would be very, very good in this style of film.
Definitely.
That'd be really cool. But I just did not like the Joker. I didn't think it was necessary. I would have rather just not done that.
I totally get it.
So, I have some like more gripes that are just like about story elements. And then like a few like things that I was like, okay. So story elements, like, I was talking about pacing a little bit. I like the slower pace, but once you get to the end where the Riddler is actually in jail, it gets like really fast, really quick, and it's so jarring, especially because the Riddler is not in the movie anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very there's a very long moment in the middle where the Riddler is not like doesn't have any influence. It's just Batman trying to do stuff, and I thought about it and I was like, wait, where's the Riddler? He should be more present. And then like soon afterwards, he was back in. But like literally after the Batman talks to the Riddler in jail, Riddler's not in it except for the Joker tease. So it's like, okay, there's nothing for me to care about anymore because I never cared about Gotham. So if Gotham goes down, why would it matter? You know what I mean? I never had any stakes because I don't like Gotham because everyone sucks at Gotham. Like everyone's corrupt.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that was I agree with that. Where like they spend the whole first half of the movie being like Gotham sucks, everybody be committing crimes left and right, it's not safe here, and then they're like, oh god, our city, and I'm like, well, maybe we should reset it. And
yeah,
I don't know. And like you guys were only 5 bombs away or 7 bombs away from the entire city flooding. Like, that's Jesus. Where is the infrastructure planning?
Seriously,
like come on.
Like, is it just is it in the middle of the ocean? Like, what is happening?
I know. I thought that was so strange. Like, why would the whole city just be flooded? I don't know. I was like, kind of like, I need more info on this.
Yeah, that was like my biggest thing. Is like the ending felt so rushed and felt so forced to me that it made the entire second half like go down, in my opinion. Or like the final act was like, eh. But speaking of dumb things like the bombing and it instantly flooding. Why didn't he just cut the rope below him? Why did he have to cut the rope that he was currently hanging on to? Like, he could have just went snip. And
then it wouldn't have been a spectacle.
Like, they try to play it up like he's dying. And I'm like, why would he die here? And then he came up. Right. And then he came up from the water. I was like, he could have just done that and then dropped into the water. Like, it was so dumb. That one made me mad. That part didn't make me mad. Oh, one final thing. Sorry, I'm just like thinking of like things that I liked and didn't like. I really, really liked the monologue that he gave at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the perfect way to open the movie. Or it wasn't like how they open movie, but it was the perfect way to introduce Batman. Like, it just made sense and it sounded like straight from a comic book. Like, it sounded super like brooding and it sounded like Batman. The one at the end I didn't like as much because it felt more cheesy because it was like, oh, I've changed, I believe in hope now instead of fear, and like, which just felt odd.
I really liked that. I don't really liked that. I think his character arc was really good. I think that it was nice to I think that really fit perfectly with what he went through. Not only did Batman go through things, but he like learned about compassion and opening up to other people, like when it came to Alfred. Oh, loved Alfred.
Yes,
he was great. What else is he in?
He's
That's driving me
Claw
crazy.
from the MCU. He is in Black Panther. He's the dude that has the mechanical arm. He's also the dude from Ultron that gives the vibranium to Ultron.
No, I'm definitely thinking of a comedy. Hang on. Anyway,
no, but I didn't like the monologue. I thought the monologue was cheesy. The character arc was very cool. I liked the character arc, but just the monologue.
I do not think the monologue was any less cheesy than the other monologues.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, and I think that Batman's just kind of cheesy in itself.
I just thought the line at the end where he was like, "The city is angry and scarred, like me," and I was just like, "Okay." I was just that sounded so
I
funny.
kind of see what you mean.
That sounded
but
so
either
funny.
way, yeah, I know what you mean.
I also wish Alfred would have died.
What?
It would have been more impactful.
I don't think so. I think that the whole point was so that him and Alfred could have that moment where he realizes that like Alfred like he can resolve his daddy. He can resolve his daddy issues a little bit because like he had Alfred this whole time.
True.
It's 13 going on 30.
God, I don't remember. I forgot. Mark Ruffalo was in that movie, right? Mm-hmm. I forgot that he was in that movie.
Another one of the best rom-coms of the 2000s. It's actually so good.
Also 17 Again.
I love
17 Again is so good.
It really is. Anyway,
do you have anything else?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. I can't wait to see what the future holds for the Batman.
Yeah, I am very excited. It is definitely buzzworthy right now. If you're able to go see a slower paced movie, go see it. It's very good. I like the distinction, and I'm very glad I saw it. I did not like it as much as Monica did, apparently, but it was still very good. And it was a nice movie to see, so I'm always down to see a movie.
Same.
So I don't really have anything else to say. We actually had a lot more to say in the non-spoiler stuff because a lot of stuff was wrong. It was very much like I was very pleased with the vibe of the movie rather than what the movie was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that with the Batman specifically, just with everything the DC has like been through with all the Batmans, I think it's more about like the vibe and like the general like ideas of the movie rather than the plot. Like the plot's the plot wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Batman. You can't really expect anything else.
For sure. Well, that's it for this episode. Keep an eye out for our mini episodes coming up about Uncharted and
Death on the Nile.
And then we're also going to be doing a follow-up podcast to the Oscars where we kind of talk about our thoughts. We were going to try and do an episode about each Oscar, like, Best Picture nominee, but I don't think that's going to happen right now. Mm-hmm. But I do think we're going to do a follow-up episode where we're going to try watch most of the Best Picture nominees. At least I want to, just for personal reasons, and then kind of see what our thoughts are. See if the Academy got it right. So keep an eye out for those. And thank you for listening.
Yes, of course. Follow us on all of our social media and please rate us.
Yeah, give us 5-star ratings and reviews. That would make us really happy.
Yes, but I just hope you all are happy that we're back and getting back into the swing of things, because I am. Wahoo. I like movies. And I like talking about movies. And you better like listening about movies, because that's what you're going to get. Okay.
Clearly.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.